What's up, everyone? Welcome to the July 25th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have an 11-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the San Francisco Giants are taking on Tyler Gilbert tonight in Arizona. We know how risky it can be to stack the Giants because they pinch hit frequently, especially when you're getting them against a left-handed starting pitcher. That means you're probably going to have Lamont Wade and Jock Peterson coming off the bench. Those are guys that the Giants are going to look to get into the lineup as soon as they can, as soon as the Diamondbacks go to a right-handed pitcher. But that being said, the Giants are relatively inexpensive, and it is a very good matchup against Gilbert. So it is worth, there is reward to be had in addition to the risks that you're taking on later in the game. So far, Gilbert this year has only struck out 12.8% of hitters with a 5.41 xFIP. The Giants active roster has a 114 WRC plus and a 171 ISO. They're projected for about 7% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and also a 10% chance of being the top value stack. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves are taking on Ranger Suarez tonight in Philadelphia. Favorable hitting park for the Braves. Suarez has been solid this year with a 3.98 xFIP, only an 18.8% strikeout percentage, however, and the Braves active roster has a 113 WRC plus and a 198 ISO. There's a lot of right-handed power in this lineup that's going to have the platoon advantage in Philly against Suarez. They're projected for about 4% ownership, with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack, only a 1% chance of being the top value stack, however. And number 1, the Houston Astros taking on Adam Oller tonight in Oakland. This is not a favorable park to hit in, but that's the end of the negative things to say about the Astros here. In his limited time in the majors this year, Oller has only struck out 14.6% of hitters with a 6.52 xFIP. He wasn't very good at AAA either. This is just an absolute mismatch in terms of talent. When you get one of the best offenses in baseball in the Astros, who have a 119 WRC plus and a 196 ISO, going up against a pitcher in Oller who has no business being in the major leagues. The Astros are projected for 6% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 3% chance of being the top value stack. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these tournament videos. That promo code is ADAMMLB. It's at the top of the screen. You can receive 50% off any weekly Stokastic Plus package. It's available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, use that promo code, get yourself 50% off any weekly package. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, promo code ADAMMLB at the top of the screen. Use it, get yourself 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at 3 of the top tournament pitchers. Number 3, Aaron Ashby taking on the Colorado Rockies tonight in Milwaukee. Ashby's getting plenty of ownership. He's currently projected for 28% ownership. He has a 16% chance of being a top 2 pitcher, in addition to a 14% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. Ashby is only $7,700, yet he leads the slate with a 24.8% strikeout percentage. He has a respectable 3.76 xFIP. The Rockies active roster outside of Coors Field this year has just an 84 WRC plus. They have only struck out 21.7% of the time, but at Ashby's salary, that is a minimal concern, in addition to the fact that there just isn't much pitching talent on this slate. Number 2, Tony Gonsolin, projected for 12% ownership with an 18% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher and a 4% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher tonight against the Washington Nationals. Gonsolin is $10,200. He has a 24.2% strikeout percentage and a 3.73 xFIP so far this season. He does have a difficult strikeout matchup against the Nats, who have only struck out 19% of the time this year, but they also only have a 94 WRC plus on their active roster. And number 1, Max Fried, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight in Philadelphia. Fried is projected for about 26% ownership with a 23% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and a 5% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher at $10,500. Fried is the most talented pitcher on the slate by pretty much any metric. It would be hard to make a case that anybody is a better real-life pitcher than Fried. That doesn't necessarily translate to great DFS numbers because he does only have about a 23% strikeout percentage this year, but That's still one of the higher strikeout percentages on the slate. As I mentioned before, Ashby leads the way at just 24.8%. And Fried does lead the slate with a 3.16 xFIP. In addition, he's facing a banged up Philadelphia lineup that has a 98 WRC plus and a 22.8% strikeout percentage on their active roster. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the San Francisco Giants; number 2, the Atlanta Braves; and number 1, the Houston Astros. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Aaron Ashby; number 2, Tony Gonsolin; and number 1, Max Fried.